Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers to another episode for your daily coverage of all the latest news updates and transfers roundup regarding Barcelona. In this episode, we take a look at the chaos created by the war of attrition between the manager and the board, as the names on the list for the possible replacement of Ronald Koeman seems to have no foolproof options available. Meanwhile, Dembele's contract negotiations have reportedly hit somewhat of a roadblock as Alejandro Balde has been ruled out for some weeks, but Fatih seems to be finally closing in on making his long-awaited return along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. Now before we begin, a small shout out to OneFootball. If you are a football fan and want to stay updated about the plethora of latest news coming up in the vast world of football, then OneFootball is the best app for you. Be it the latest news updates, transfer rumors or update about club or international football, OneFootball has got it all covered. It is completely free to use and its biggest perk is that it gives you real-time match updates whenever a game is being played out, and whenever there's a major incident in the game, you will be notified by the app. You can select your favorite club and it will suggest you personalized articles. In my case, it's definitely Barcelona. Be it game statistics, current form of your team or individual performances of your players, you get it all. La Liga, Champions League, English Premier League, Serie A, World Cup, Bundesliga, League 1, MLS or AFC Champions League, everything you want, it's here. So go ahead, check it out. Link to download the app is given in the description of this video. To start off today's news roundup, we have the results from last night's game. Barca ended up with a goalless draw against Cadiz at their home following a mediocre performance as some rather poor refereeing saw both Frankie and Ronald Koeman get sent off. After the game, journalist Joan reported that Koeman will not be on the bench against Levante and he may never be in charge of Barca at the Camp Nou anymore. Goal reports that Ronald Koeman will not continue at Barcelona and the decision has been taken. As of right now, there is no official deadline for the Dutch manager. It will all depend on how the results unfold. As per the report of top-tier journalist Josep Soldado, it's only a matter of days until a replacement for Ronald Koeman is found. Both top-tier journalist Mate Moreto and Joan report that Andrea Pirlo is not an option for Barcelona. Meanwhile, Joachim Low has also been ruled out. As of right now, Belgium's Roberto Martinez is Joan Laporta's favorite option. The coach's contract includes a release clause of 1.8 million euros, an amount that the club could pay. Reporting on the same issue, Goal states that Roberto Martinez has a release clause in his contract with the national team of Belgium. His departure can be activated at any time. Xavi Hernandez is also an option, but there are more than two candidates. As per the latest report of Spanish publication El Mundo, sources from the Belgian Federation has confirmed that Roberto Martinez has a personal agreement with the president of the Belgian Federation to stay until the end of his contract after the 2022 World Cup. In his latest interview with Eurosport, Roberto Martinez was questioned regarding his chances of succeeding Ronald Koeman. He said that right now there is nothing for him to comment on. Obviously, there are always rumors and that is normal in football. Also reporting in the same tone as Roberto Martinez's interview, Catalunya Radio reports that Barca right now are not clear about Koeman's replacement. Laporta will not rush things. As far as Xavi Hernandez is concerned, Spanish publication Sport reports that Laporta wants Xavi to go through the B team first. Xavi, however, is not a fan of this idea. However, Barca legend Andres Iniesta has spoken up on this matter in his most recent interview with Goal. He said that he thinks that Xavi Hernandez is absolutely ready to coach Barca, especially since he has been preparing and is trained. He is brave enough to face that challenge. Commenting on himself, Andres said that there are some days when he thinks of becoming a coach and then there are other days where he does not really consider it. Right now he is confused, but he wants to be a coach and he thinks that he is going to do it someday in the future. Iniesta very positively asserted that he wants to come back to Barcelona and it's very clear, but he does not want to come back just because of his name. He wants to come back because he can help Barca and that's exactly what he wants. Reporting further on the managerial situation, Top-tier journalist Gabriel San states that sources from the club explain that the ideal profile would be a former player who knows the club well. Xavi and Thierry Henry, who was looked upon while replacing Ernesto Valverde, are also in the list to replace Koeman along with the board's favourite Roberto Martinez. For the next one, we have the comments of former Barca B manager Garcia Pimienta on Ronald Koeman's tactics. He said that the problem last Tuesday against Granada was that Barca played something that they should not have defensively. The players are not used to doing things that they did on Tuesday or what they did against Granada. Pimienta further said that he thinks Koeman has his idea of football. He wants to win games and does it in the best way he thinks is possible, both in attack and in defense. However, we are not seeing the Barcelona that we want. However, as far as Ronald Koeman is concerned, he acted very strangely in yesterday's pre-game press conference. He read out a long statement prepared by himself and he refused to take any questions from the press. Reliable journalist Adria Alberts reports that it was Koeman himself who made the decision not to hold a press conference and instead read a statement that he himself had prepared. The club found out minutes before 1 p.m. and the captains had already been informed of the manager's intention. In the press conference, Koeman opened his statement saying that the club right now is in a moment of restructuring and that takes time. Young players can become stars in a couple of years, as it happened with Xavi and Iniesta. It takes patience. In the Champions League, one simply cannot expect miracles. He further said that the process that he has started deserves to be supported, in words and in deeds. He knows that the press recognizes this process, which is not the first in the history of this club. He also said that he counts on the fans' support in these tough times. Koeman also very assertively said that he does not regret signing for Barcelona and leaving the Dutch national team. It's in situations like this that he gets the best out of himself and his team. Furthermore, the Dutchman revealed that he knew that the financial situation at Barcelona was not very good, but he did not again know that it was this bad. Joan Laporta also did not know about it as well. He thinks that Laporta was just as surprised as he was, and they are all in the same boat now. With what seemed to be a little touch of empathy, Koeman said that he understands Laporta's feelings as he is a fan of this club. He does not like it as well when they lose 3-0 against Bayern Munich. But then again, he has to look at the situation in a sober way. They brought on Gnabry, Hernandez and Koeman as substitutes, and all Barca had to offer was to bring on youth talents from the youth system, and they required time to develop. Expressing his gratitude towards the local fans, Koeman said that there is a lot of respect here in the streets of Barcelona. People are not crazy here. They know the situation of the club and they are happy that he brings in the young players. That is exactly what he meant when he said that thanks to him, this club has a future. Commenting on Messi, Koeman said that when Messi was at Barca, he covered all the flaws of this club. That is how good he is. Of course, he still had some good players around him, but he was the one who made the main difference, and he made everyone around him look better than they are. He said that this is not him criticizing his own players, this is just his observation. Koeman further said that Messi is a 10 on 10 in every aspect of the game, in recognizing situations on the pitch, in finishing, in controlling the ball, in putting the right speed behind the pass. It's definitely not normal. However, Laporta did say later on that Koeman's statement was unnecessary. The communications department and he both tried to tell him to answer the questions from the press, but he refused. News outlet ESPN reports that the board have grown increasingly frustrated by the continued comments made by the coach in the Dutch media. For example, Koeman had criticized the president for suggesting that he does not have complete control over playing issues. Laporta's close friend and the club's advisor Enric Masip said in his most recent interview with TV3 that Koeman made some statements and in his opinion, a coach cannot say that the president cannot speak about him. Masip further said that Laporta knows that he has to make do with Koeman right now. However, he also knows that Xavi Hernandez will definitely train Barca one day and with Laporta as the president as well. On being asked if Koeman will be sacked in the upcoming days by the club, he said that he cannot confirm nor deny that. Moving on to the next news update, the club has officially confirmed that Alejandro Balde has pain in his lower back. The evolution of his recovery will mark his return. Meanwhile, the report also states that Ansu Fati continues with good feelings and is ready to play again. He will most likely return to the squad on Sunday against Levante. Speaking about young players, Barca have officially confirmed that the young Barca B player Iniesta trained with the first team today. For the next news update, Spanish publication Onze TV3 has reported about Ronald Araujo's dedication. In the most recently published article, they stated that when Araujo signed for Barcelona, he noticed that he was technically inferior to the rest of his teammates. Since then, he has worked on his technique with a small-sized ball at his house every day. For the next one, Spanish news outlet Cope reports that Barca met with Ousmane Dembele yesterday to discuss the winger's renewal. Dembele's renewal won't be easy. The player wants to stay at the club, but the positions are somewhat distant at the moment. For the next news update, RAC1 journalist Gerard Romero reports that Barca's third kit has unsurprisingly become the best-selling shirt of the season in a single week. Memphis's shirt sells the best, followed by Frenkie de Jong's and Ansu Fati's. Speaking about shirt sales, journalist CK Rodriguez reports that Barca are claiming the rights that they deserve for the sale of the replica shirts. They are made by Nike, and Nike has not paid the rights to these shirts to Barcelona. The demands were put up by the previous board before they resigned. Nike could pay up to 40 to 50 million euros to Barcelona. For the next news update, we have a report by top-tier journalist Alfredo Martinez. It states that Alex Collado was so discouraged by the complicated end to the summer that he thought about quitting football forever. President Laporta called him up personally to encourage him and assured him that he would try to fix it up with the league.
That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos. So in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Qlers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.